Yesterday we saw the background of David's Song of Deliverance found in 2 Samuel 22 and Psalm 18. This song is a testimony of David who experienced God's deliverance after almost 15 years of living as a fugitive. There are many lessons we can learn from this song to cope up with the sufferings we face. Suffering helped David understand the character of God, because of which David calls God his refuge, strength, fortress, deliverer, shield, horn of salvation, and stronghold. Suffering tossed David to the bosom of God, and he experienced God's presence in unique and tender ways. David called on God's help in suffering and saw answers to his prayers on a moment-by-moment basis during his years of uncertainty. In Psalm chapter 18, verse 7 to 19, David describes God's omnipotence and his immediate response to David's cry for help. Suffering helped David see that God's word is true. Psalm chapter 18, verse 30. David experienced God's strength in his weakest moments, because of which he ran against troops and leaped over walls. These are not literal statements, but poetic expressions of David's experience of discovering God's strength. The shepherd boy was trained in war during his fugitive years, and David's suffering prepared him for his future role as king of Israel. Though he suffered, David experienced victory and complete deliverance from all his enemies and made foreigners submit to him. Psalm chapter 18, verse 37 to 45. David was not only rescued from his enemies, but also exalted as king. His years of wandering and hardship ended in glory as he took his royal position and experienced God's steadfast love not only in his lifetime, but also through posterity. These are some of the lessons David learned through his suffering. We too learn and grow in faith when we pass through difficult times. But we all can be sure that through it all, we learn to trust God and His Word and sing like David, I love you, O Lord, my strength. Psalm chapter 18, verse 1. Have a blessed day.